Hey guys, how's it digging? It's the Nerdy Movie Guy, and for today's video, we're going to be talking about the second installment in the beloved Planet of the Apes franchise, Beneath the Planet of the Apes. So, of course, I got the Blu-ray disc in here. As I've mentioned before, there's no 4K copy, which still it's mind-boggling to me. However, I have the Blu-ray, so we're going to talk about the movie. And it was hard for me to come up with how I wanted to start this because I feel like I'll piss a lot of people off, in my opinion, but unfortunately, for Beneath the Planet of the Apes, I just found the movie uninteresting. I just struggled to find plot points and characters that just felt engaging, and it was hard to find someone to really root for in this movie. So I want to mention why. So in this movie, we get a new astronaut, Brent. Now he's on the Planet of the Apes, and it's the same story. The ship went down, and now he's going to try to figure out what's going to happen on this world. And when he discovers the apes, I feel like everything that Taylor went through in the first movie that took over about an hour and a half to really, push the story forward, Brent realizes everything and understands everything that's going on all within 10 minutes. So that just felt super rushed, and it sort of decreased the value of the impact of the first film's story. And I think that it was just sad to see it all rushed over so fast. And so that's his character. And Nova played a part in the first one. In this one, I felt like she was just there. If you think about it, aside for just one little thing toward the beginning, she really served no other purpose in the movie except for just a connector piece between him and Ape City. So it's more of a mystery movie in this one because there's strange phenomena going on the planet with firewalls and storms and just strange things that don't normally happen. And of course, for a movie being as old as it is, the special effects didn't look all that great, but it's what you expect from a movie like this. But I just felt that they used the villains. I felt they were severely underused. So there's two different villains. So to me, the first one is the gorilla. I forget his name. If they said his name, then I just forgot. But he is leading this army into the Forbidden Zone, and he has this whole speech about, we're going to go Forbidden Zone and kill whoever's there because reasons. Let's go. And that's it. That's the story. So I felt like it was hard to root for him. It was hard to appreciate him as a villain. I struggled to understand him as a character. I felt like there's no depth to who he was. And it just his story became unengaging, and I just stopped caring about his character and his story at that point. And then the other issue I had is when Brent and Nova finally do see these other humans, they have these mind control powers just constantly just hurting him. And maybe this is just an issue I had. I don't know if others would share my same opinion, but I just struggle to care about mind control characters across any franchise, just because I find it just uninteresting when you see your main hero characters. There's just these beloved characters, but now they're evil because they're mind controlled, and it's just, I don't know, I just can't be engaged into that kind of a story. I just struggle to really find it to be impactful, and it's just hard for me to connect with those characters when they become victims of mind control. And so only having a handful of characters in this movie, I think that sort of became a detriment to the film, is having the mind control involved. And when Brent's attacking Nova, when Brent's attacking Taylor, it's just, there's no one to root for because the villains were just sort of untouchable, so to speak, at that point. And it's just no one to root for, and it just becomes borderline boring. And it's sad because I really wanted to enjoy this movie through and through, but I just found the villains uninteresting. I found what little main characters we had to be underused, and they become victimized in a basic, boring way. And it just took me out of the moment, and it was hard. It just wasn't really much of an engaging movie for me, unfortunately. And I remembered bits and pieces, and I didn't really remember much of the story, so that's why I wanted to give it a rewatch, is to understand it a little bit better. But after seeing this movie, I struggled to find the reasons for why they needed a sequel to this movie. Now, I remember his pieces from the other, so I look forward to seeing the rest, and hopefully I'm going to enjoy them a lot better than this one. But if I had to rank them all so far between the trilogy, the remake, the original, and this one might unfortunately have to be at the bottom of the list for me, just because of how uninteresting and unengaging the movie was as a whole. And I love the concept, I love the world building, I love the lore and the characters in this franchise. I just think this particular movie, it just didn't do it for me. And I know many of you probably won't share my same opinion. That's just how I felt about the movie. And that's the point of these reviews. I'm just giving my thoughts, good or bad. I'm just kind of giving insight to how I felt about it. Maybe there are some things I pointed out that you guys didn't notice, or maybe you guys can give in the comments, say, hey, nerdy movie guy, you missed the whole point about this, and maybe I'll understand the movie differently. But that's just how I felt about it. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching this video. Thanks a lot.